Alright, what's going on, guys? So we are here on the side of the road. I am basically in my rental car right now. We are driving back toward Belize City. I'm going to be spending the night in Belize City, really just because it's close to the airport, and I was going to fish the saltwater a little bit. But I kind of looked out my window as I was driving by, and there seems to be this ditch. It's not too long, but it's long enough along the side of the road here. So I pulled over, took a quick peek in the water before I decided to rig up and pull the camera out and whatnot. And it looks like there are some mosquito fish on top, and I think there are different species of mosquito fish than the one I caught on my first day here up in the Macau River, roughly an hour and a half inland, so we are very close to the coast here. There should be, I think, either 3 or 4 different types of mosquito fish species found in Belize, and I do think these are different, like I mentioned, so we're going to try to catch some of those. I got my little Tanago hook rigged up, got a little piece of gulp maggot, really tiny piece on there. So we're going to try to catch some of these little mosquito fish here on the side of the road. It's a pretty busy road. There's a lot of cars driving by, and I'm sure there's not many people fishing this ditch, so I might raise some eyebrows. But anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's see if we can catch some of these mosquito fish, and maybe we'll find something else in this roadside ditch as well that could surprise us. So let's give it a shot, and let's see what happens. Alrighty, so here's the roadside ditch in all her glory. Yeah, there's a good amount of these mosquito fish over there. They're all just really small. Thankfully, usually mosquito fish are very aggressive and they got big mouths. So hopefully this could work. Hopefully. My piece might be a little bit too big. Let me show it to you real quick, and you'll be surprised that it's still too big. But there it is, and I do think that piece is a little bit too big for a lot of these guys. So I'm going to take a little bit off, and then we are going to try it out again. Let me just pinch a little bit of this off. There we go, it's a little bit smaller. Let's try this out. Come on. Why is this not working? This should have worked really easily. Got him. Let's take a look at him. Alright, so we got a little guy. This is one of the smaller ones, and unfortunately, as you might be aware, when fish are smaller, they're usually more difficult to identify. So I'll do my best, but I'm going to try to catch a larger one, because if I can, I'm sure that'll be a lot easier. It's definitely different than the one that I caught a couple days ago. This one has a black anal fin, and it's got a couple little black dots along the body, which the one that I caught a couple days ago did not have. So pending ID, this will be a new species. I just am not sure if the 2 or 3 other species found here look similar to this one or not. So let's get a pic of this guy, let's get him back, and let's see if we can catch a bigger one. Got him. Yes, this one is a little bit bigger. Alright, so let's take a look at this guy. He is on a little bit bigger side. The black on the anal fin is not as pronounced, but you can see some of the black dots over on the kind of the back side of him, on his dorsal and on his caudal fin. So this is definitely going to be a different species than the one we caught the first day, which is great. Now we just got to ID it at some point later on. So let's get this guy back. Wouldn't even mind catching more of these guys. Maybe even a larger one, just so I could be like triple sure. And then maybe there's some other fish in there that we can catch as well. But awesome little stop on the side of the road. Let's get this guy back, and let's try to fish for a few more minutes here. Oh, that was something different. All I can see are these mosquito fish on the top. What is this? Yeah, but as this drops down below the surface, there's some other stuff. There's a little tetra. All right, so I couldn't see any of these guys down there in the water, but once my bait kind of dropped below the surface, I got ambushed pretty quickly by at least one of these guys, but I had at least a couple bites. Anyway, it's not going to be a macaw tetra, that's for sure, because we are nowhere near the Macaw River, which is where these guys are endemic. This is either going to be a Belizean tetra or a Balacar or Bacalar tetra. Not sure, and at this size, it's going to be impossible, at least for me to ID. We're going to call it a Bacalar tetra because I believe the Belizean tetras are found more in southern Belize, and we are still kind of in the central part. So we'll get a pic of this guy, we'll get him back. Going to call it a Bacalar or Balacar tetra for now, but I don't think I'm going to be able to ID it, but I think that's probably going to be the best guess, the most likely guess. Got him. Another little mosquito fish. Photo tank time for this guy. Alrighty, so 31 of these guys for the day. It is a really pretty mosquito fish. Up in Florida. It feels weird saying that because I usually say down in Florida, but from here, up in Florida, the eastern mosquito fish are super, super annoying just because I catch so many of them. They're the most common, most aggressive little micro up there. But coming down here, being able to catch a couple of these other mosquito fish species is really cool. Just because up in the U.S., in the U.S. we have more than two. The eastern and the western is definitely the most common. There's several other species, a couple of which have a very small range, might even be extinct down in like the Texas area. But yeah, being able to come down here and catch some other species of mosquito fish has been really, really cool. And I'm so happy I just pulled over on the side of this road, had no real interest of stopping along the way, but we saw some water and we just had to pull over and fish it. So let's get this mosquito fish back and let's fish for a little bit longer. Alright, so while we're over here, let me also show you what we're using for bait. I got rid of the gulp little maggot piece just because they weren't really interested, and I went with the Nico fly larvae. So I've kept this in my bag for several years now. It's come in handy a couple times when I haven't been able to find bait. It's just a little soft plastic, but it's scented, I think garlic flavored or something. Yeah, naturally scented with added garlic. And this has done wonders for me in Singapore when I was there a couple years ago for some microfish. And now it came in handy here down in Belize. So definitely recommend it. Don't get to use this too often just because like natural and live bait is basically going to be a whole lot better. But when you're in a pinch like I was today, this came in handy. Let's try to catch a couple more of these guys or something else down there. Got him. Another little tetra. Yeah, so once again, gonna call this the Bacalar or Balacar tetra, because again, I don't think I'm gonna be able to differentiate between these and the Belizean tetras, and I'm pretty sure the Belizean tetras are found further south than where we are right now. But still, cool catch. Let's get him back, and let's keep going for a couple more of these micros for a few more minutes. Got him. That's a big mosquito fish, at least on the bigger side than the other ones I've caught so far. Okay, so maybe he's not that big, but I've definitely caught a couple smaller ones today. But this is going to be a good one to end it on. Nice coloration on this guy. You can see the black on his anal, or is it her anal fin? You can see the black on the anal fin here real well. Pops out nicely. Come on, dude. There we go. And then you can see the dots on the back of the body as well as on the tail and on the dorsal really well. And a little bit of that teardrop below the eye. So pretty little fish. Let's get this guy back. And let's go ahead and wrap it up for this spot and get back in the rental car, keep driving toward Belize City. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this session, and what a great little session it was. Wasn't planning on stopping here, but when you see water on the side of the road that looks fishy, you got to check it out. And we got one new species out of here in whatever kind of little Gambusia mosquito fish species that ends up being. And I really am happy that I at some point purchased this Nico fly larvae, and I'm really happy I kept it in my bag for all those years. As you can see, the packaging is, it's seen better days, but the stuff inside is still good. They didn't want to bite initially on the gulp not red wigglers, the gulp maggots. They also didn't want to bite on the panfish nibbles. I think if I tried enough and I was here long enough, I probably could have got them to bite on both, just because mosquito fish are usually really aggressive. They'll bite almost anything if you give them enough chances. But luckily I didn't have to do that because these came in clutch. So like I mentioned, don't use these a lot, but every once in a while when you're in a little bit of a pinch like this, you don't have bait, these come in handy. So really glad I had these in my bag. Gonna keep them in my bag for a little while longer. As you can see, and maybe, well, as you can hear and then maybe see here on the side of the road, just a super busy highway here, pulled off to the side, and we got some mosquito fish out of this ditch. So not a bad session. This might be the last one from Belize. I'm not sure if I'm gonna fish later on tonight or not. But we'll see. If it is the last video from Belize, I'm happy to end it on a high note with a new species. So hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time.